Good morning, all of you. Good morning, all of you. Am
Good
I audible?
morning, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
yeah, today we would be continue the topic of delta modulation, and we have yesterday started this topic, so we would be continue from the same point. I will take a quick review of this. What is the basic concept behind the delta modulation? Then we have to discuss the system or hardware that is required for the transmit the signal through the delta modulation, receiving the signal through the delta modulation. So here we are learning about the how to convert the analog signal into the digital one for the digital communication system. So we have learned already the PCM as well as the differential PCM, pulse code modulation. Now, as we have seen the comparison of the or trade-off of the complexity and the bandwidth yesterday, so we know that delta modulation is one of the solution that would be provide a higher bandwidth with the less complexity of the system. So in the delta modulation, as we know that incoming message signal is basically oversampled, means the rate of sampling could be much higher than the Nyquist rate. And this oversampled sampling is purposely done to increase the correlation between the adjacent samples of the signal. And this increased correlation is done so as to permit the use of simple quantizing strategy for constructing the encoded signal. So in basically delta modulation provide a staircase approximation to the oversampled version of the message signal. But if you have to be compare it with the pulse code modulation, the difference between in the delta modulation, what we had done, the difference between the input signal and its approximation is quantized into two levels only. That means either plus delta or minus delta. And when it would be encoded, it would be also encoded in the binary form, like for plus delta it is maybe binary 1, minus delta binary like this. So only the two labels are here for quantizing the signal as well as the encoding the signal is there. So if you have to see this diagram, this is the basic diagram that would illustrate the delta modulation. Here you can see that there is a two signals I have shown here. One of the is continuous analog waveform that is represented as a xt, and its approximation, staircase approximation, as a x cap t or xqt you can also say. Okay, so if you have to be see that this approximation, then what happens? The signal is propagating, analog signal is propagating with respect to the time domain uniformly, and the staircase or approximate signal would be just follow the analog signal. Okay, and somewhere it would be found that the staircase signal would be equal to or less than or maybe more than that of the actual analog signal, means it is just following the analog signal is here. And when you have to be see that this staircase signal is higher or above than this analog signal, then it would be decreased by the step size, that is delta. Okay, and when your approximate signal is less than the or below the analog signal, then it would be increased by the amount of fixed step size, that is again delta. Okay, so it would be depending upon that how the pattern would be created. And if approximated signal is higher than the analog signal, it would be decreased or diminished by the delta. If it would be lower than the analog signal, it would be increased by the factor of the delta. And according to that, its binary equivalent sequence has been also shown here. Okay, so it would be if it would be decreased by the delta, the binary 0 is there. If it is increased by the delta, then it is a binary 1 is shown here. Okay, so this is the way. If you have to see that this is the main principle behind this, how to implement the delta modulation. I hope all of you have studied drawn this diagram or taken the screenshot. This is the fundamental picture diagram that you would be refer to explain the how the delta modulation would be occurs. Now, if you have to be see the little explanation of this particular diagram is that, so if the approximation falls below the input signal at any sampling time, so it would be increased by the delta that I have told you that, or if it is above this, then diminished by the delta. So providing the input signal that does not change too rapidly from sample to sample, we find that the staircase approximation is remain within the limit of plus minus delta of input signal. And we denote the input signal here xt and staircase approximation as xqt. And if you have to be going to formalize this delta modulation, so you can represent this particular delta modulation by the help of these three set of discrete time relationship equations are there. First is that you can see that I have written the equation number 1, that is referring the error, prediction error, E and TS, that is nothing but the difference of actual analog signal X and TS minus time delayed approximation of approximate signal XQ and TS minus TS. It is delayed by the one time interval that is sampling time, that is a TS. Okay. So why it is shown as a delay? Because we have to be approximate the incoming message signal. If you have to be refer this particular diagram, so you can see that when we do not know what the incoming message signal would be there at any time instant. So for approximation, we would be take one of the past value of the signal, and once the incoming message signal would be come here, so as per the amplitude comparison, there is a comparator that would compare this amplitude. If your approximated signal, that is delayed signal, has been be less than this incoming message signal, then it would be increased by the one of the term, that is delta, one of the step, that is delta. And if it is decreased, then it would be if it is already above or more than the amplitude of this, it would be decreased by the delta. Okay. So there is a comparison actually, so that's why there is a error signal would be generated, that is nothing but a difference between the present message signal and the time delayed or past approximated signal, that is E and TS. So this is the first equation. And if you see the second discrete time relationship, that is the second equation that we can refer this when this signal, error signal, would be passed through the next stage, it would be passed through the quantizer. And we know that basically the block diagram of all this PCM and the delta modulation system. So this error signal would be now passed through the quantizer to quantize the signal. So after the quantizer, the output is EQ and TS is here. That is nothing but it is just a signum function of the error signal, that is indicated here by the equation number 2. And further, this signal would be quantized output would be quantized error would be actually, then it would be fed to the one of the block, that is a time delay, or you can say it is an integrator actually, where the input would be here as a XQ and TS, that is nothing but a summation of two signals, that is time delayed input of this particular indicator plus the quantized output. Okay. So here you can see that it's the TS is the sampling period, and ENTS is the error, prediction error, actually predicted error, and EQNTS is a quantized version of this. Okay. And SGN, it is representing the signum function, and it would be lie below it being the +1 and -1 only. So in this way, the quantizer output EQNTS is finally encoded to produce the delta modulated data, and it would be encoded. After the encoding, it would be available in the terms of binary 1 or 0 only, depending upon the plus delta and minus delta step size. Okay. So here you can see the actual block diagram of this particular arrangement for the transmitter of the delta modulator, where you can see that whatever the sampled input of our actual message signal, that is X and TS, is given to the one of the comparator, where the another input to the comparator is approximated signal, that is delayed by the time instant Ts. Here you can see in the accumulator, inside the accumulator I have shown that is a delayed time Ts. That is actually nothing but you can use an indicator also. So when these two signals would be compared, then we would be see that there is a ENT, that is a predicted error, means the difference between the actual signal and approximated signal, because we know that the approximated signal would be always try to follow the actual analog signal. So as per the pattern or nature of the incoming signal, there is some difference of their amplitude. According to that, increase and decrease in the value of the step size of the approximated signal by the amount of plus delta or minus delta, and that would be indicated here the ENTS. And then this signal is given to the quantizer, that would be quantize this signal, and the quantizer output would be, there is a some that would be EQNTS. Okay, and that would be nothing but this predicted error would be added with the quantized value of the signal, and then it would become quantized output EQNTS. Then this signal would be fed to the encoder, and we would be get a binary delta modulated data sequence. Or at the same time also, this quantized signal would be fed to this accumulator as well, where it would be added with the delayed approximated signal EXQNTS minus TS, and that would be the output of this adder would be your present value of the approximate signal, that is XQNTS. Okay, so every cycle of this operation we have to be always delayed this approximated signal by the one time instant Ts, and that delay signal is compared with the incoming message signal, because we can't move ahead of the message signal, because we are doing here the prediction. So we have to always wait for the incoming message signal, and according to the previous approximated value, we have to be compare both signal, and then we have to be increase or decrease the size of the step of the quantized value by the amount of delta. So the principal virtue of this delta modulation is its simplicity, and you can see that it may be implemented by simply applying the sample version of incoming message signal to a transmitter. That would be consist of only the comparator, quantizer, and the accumulator. These are three main building blocks of this delta modulated transmitter is there. Okay. Now we have seen that what the operation of the comparator compares, and whatever the difference, it will be fit to a quantizer, and the quantizer would be become the input output characteristics of the scaled version of the signum function is there. And finally, the accumulator would be operate the quantizer output so as to produce the approximate message signal. Now, you have to be refer the equation number 3 that we have discussed. That is a difference equation of order 1. And the order refers to the fact that present sample XQNTS differs from the past sample XQNTS minus TS by the amount of equal to the quantization error, that is EQNTS. So what is the difference between this two value of the approximate signal? The amount of quantization error EQNTS. Okay, so if the input signal XNTS is greater than the most recent approximation XQNTS, so a positive increment is applied to the approximation. If it is less than, if on the other hand, if you have to say the input signal is smaller than the approximate value, so negative increment minus delta would be applied to the approximation. Okay, and according to that, at the encoder output, binary 1 and 0 would be generated, and it would be sent to the transmitted through the channel. Now we have to come to the receiver section of this particular delta modulator. If you have to be describe the receiver of delta modulation system, so this whatever the binary sequence that we have transmitted through the delta modulator out transmitter through the channel, this would be come to the receiver, and this binary signal would be first decoded and converted into the equivalent quantized value. So here we have to be use the dequantization actually, or the decoders are used. There we have to be try to extract the noise actually, quantization noise that is involved during the transmission, and this decoded signal would be now fed to the accumulator, where it is this decoded signal would be added with the time delayed signals, and this two signal would be added, and that signal would be then finally passed through a low pass filter. That bandwidth is similar to the bandwidth of the actual message signal, and in this way we would be generate the or reconstruct the message signal. So if you have to be describe this in detail, so you have to be find that in the receiver, the staircase approximated signal XQT is reconstructed by passing the sequence of positive or negative pulses produced at a decoder output. So according to the you can say according to the nature of the this particular incoming signal, that is a binary sequence actually, maybe in the terms of 1 0 1 0 like this. So according to the binary value, the decoder output would be generate the pulses, positive and negative pulses as per the binary sequence at the output of the decoder, and these pulses would be fed to the, that is nothing but a either plus delta or minus delta, that would be fed to the accumulator. Similarly, in the similar manner that we have used it in the transmitter section as well. So the whatever the quantization noise present in the this particular staircase waveform XQT, that would be rejected by this what low pass filter. Okay, and the output of the low pass filter would be nothing but a signal that is very much similar to the original message signal, and the bandwidth of the low pass filter would be same as the bandwidth of the actual message signal. So in this way we would be recover the actual message signal. So the process is very much simple is there in the case of delta modulation, because here we are using a uniform step size or uniform step size at delta. Either the signal would be moving very fast or very slow, or the frequency or the amplitude, it doesn't matter. It would be a very simple method, and that's why it is makes the complexity of the system would be decreased as compared to the regular standard pulse code modulation. Now there would be some disadvantage of this system is also there. That is, we can refer it as a quantization error. Why this kind of error would be produced? Because we have seen that in this particular case, what happens, we have fixed the step size, that is delta. Either it would be increased by the plus delta or decreased by the minus delta. So that would be create some issues when we are doing actually do the transmission of this kind of the signals to the transmitter. What is the problem is that if your message signal that is moving very fast, or the slope of the message signal is more steeper, that you can also refer, everyone you can draw this diagram as well, that is representing the quantization error in the case of delta modulation. So if you can see that in this case, the xt is representing the analog signal and xqt is the approximate staircase signal is there. And in the first, there is a two section of this diagram. First section, the left hand side, it is representing the slope overload distortion, and the right hand side, it is representing the granular noise. I would be just explain one by one. If you have to see, if the message signal is sampled rapidly, or if you have to see the slope of this message signal is very much steeper, at that moment what happens, if you have to be kept the step size uniform, that is the size of delta, so it would be not able to trace the actual message signal. It would be far behind of their actual message signal. Okay, that you can also see in this particular diagram. We are doing the approximation by the uniform step size delta, and the message signal would be, the slope is very much steeper, so and it is moving very fast. That what happens, it is not able to approximate this signal. It is far behind of this. Okay, so this is because of doing the oversampling of the signal. Okay, and this problem would be occur oversampling of the signal. That's why it is, we can say there is a and there is a slope of messaging that is very steeper, that would be not able to trace it out by doing this uniform quantization. So this is called a slope overload distortion. Okay, when your approximation would be not able to trace out the actual message signal. There is another problem would be also could be occur if the message would be not moving very much fast. It would not changes very quickly. It would be very slow and sluggish in nature. And there is, we can see the slope of this message signal is right hand side is, it is just like a flat signal. It is nearly zero slope is there. So at that moment also, if you have to be kept the staircase signal of a uniform step size, then again either it would be above the message signal or below the message signal. So it would be again not exactly approximate the tracing the it is just hunting around this particular message signal. So it is not actually giving the correct information about the message signal. So this kind of the problem is called refer as a granular noise. So we have to be see what is actually the slope overload distortion. So by the mathematical equation, if you have to be see, so the error quantization, the prediction error, the QNTS is denoted the quantization error actually, and this is maybe written as XQNTS is equal to XNTS, that is actual approximation state signal plus the quantization error is there. And if you have to be refer the equation number 1 that we have defined in the past, that is ENTS, that is the prediction error is nothing but the actual message signal minus time delayed approximated signal. So when you have to be substitute the equation number 4 into the equation number 1, we would be get a new equation of the prediction error, that is ENTS is equal to XNTS minus XNTS minus TS minus QNTS minus TS. So we have just, according to this equation 1, we have manipulated the value of the quantization error in terms of this time delayed signal. Okay, so this is the new relationship. So you can see that does, except for the delayed quantization error QNTS minus TS, the quantizer input is nothing but a first backward difference of the input signal, and which would be viewed as a digital approximation to the derivative of the, because there is a, we are talking about the slope of the input signal, the derivative of the input signal, and as inverse of the digital integration process. Okay, so if now we have to be consider, you can refer this particular diagram for this writing this equation as well. Okay, so if now we consider the maximum slope of this original message signal xt, it is clear that in order for the sequence of quantized sample, that is XQNTS, to increase as fast as the message sequence of the input samples in a region of maximum slope of xt. So we have to be considered as the maximum slope to tracing out or to follow the actual message signal, and we have to be satisfy this condition. That is, what is the condition is that step size delta upon TS should be greater than or equal to the maximum slope of the message signal dxt upon dt. Okay, it should be satisfied, then and then only we would be correctly approximate the actual message signal. If this signal condition is not satisfied, then we would be never trace out actual message signal. Okay, so this is the minimum condition that we have to be fulfill to do the correctly approximation of the actual message signal. Okay, so this is the one of the basic requirement for this. Delta TS should be greater than the maximum slope of the message signal. Otherwise, what happens? The step size delta is too much small as compared to the approximation whatever you have done to follow this steep segment of the original message signal, and that would be results that your approximate signal executive would be falls far behind of this actual message signal, and this condition is also referred as slope overload. And this problem is called as the resulting quantization error because of the slope overload is referred as a slope overload distortion. It is one kind of the distortion or noise you can refer. Since now we have to say, since the maximum slope of the staircase approximation is fixed by the step size delta, and it is increases or decreases in tend to occur the straight line. Okay. So for this reason, delta modulator using a fixed value of the step size delta is often referred to as a linear delta modulator. If you have to be refer this particular diagram, so it is because of uniform size, it is called as a linear delta modulator. Okay, because the step size is not changing, even we are facing the problem of the slope overload distortion. Now come to the other end of this diagram, that is the granular noise. If you have to see that, so why the granular is problem is occurs, because when the step size is where we have considered the slope of message is very small, and the step size would be become too large relative to the slope of the message signal. And this is because of this condition, what happens, x qt, the staircase approximation, would be hunt around the this flat segment of the message. Okay, so you can say that the granular noise is just in the delta modulation could be viewed as or considered as analogous to the quantization noise in the PCM or pulse code modulation. Okay, so so how to remove this problem? There's a problem we have faced here of the slope overload distortion as well as the granular noise. To overcome this problem, we can modify our delta modulation system by the another system that is called adaptive delta modulation, where we would be try to vary the size of the delta according to the incoming message sequence. Okay, so we would be see a little bit insight of this, and at the end we would be do one numerical also. So adaptive delta modulation is what basically we have whatever we have discussed in the previous case of the delta modulation, as we need to have a large step size to accommodate a wide dynamic range, whereas a small step size is required for the accurate representation of the relatively low level signals. So for the large signals, we have to be required to large step size. For the small signal, we have to require a small step size. Means it is clear that choice of optimum step size that minimizes the mean square value of the quantization error in the linear delta modulator would be a result of compromise between slope overload distortion as well as the granular noise. Because if you have to increase the size very much high, so it would be again create a problem on the case of the granular noise. If you would be decrease the size of the delta very much low, then it is again it is issue, we would be not able to resolve the slope overload distortion. So to satisfy this condition or such a requirement, we need to make delta modulator that is adaptive in nature. So in this case, adaptive means what? In the sense that step size is made to vary according with the input signal. So the step size is thereby made variable such that it is enlarged during the intervals when the slope overload distortion is dominant, and reduced in the size when granular noise or quantization noise is dominant. So according to the nature or variation of the input signal, your step size would be also vary. That is the one of the solution of the slope overload distortion and the granular noise, and this is called the adaptive delta modulation, because we have made the step size adaptive to the analog incoming message signal. So if you have to refer this diagram, this is the block diagram of the transmitter of the adaptive delta modulation. If you have to see that this is similar to the transmitter of the delta modulation, only what we have done in the delta modulation, we have also do the 1-bit quantizer. There is an encoder at output end, and there is a summer is there, and there is approximated signal is there. Okay, so it is again a approximated signal xq, that is nts minus ts. This is delayed signal. Only what is the change is there if you have to be see this diagram very carefully, this is one of the block is added, that is called a logic for step size control. Because main issue of the step size. In the case of delta modulation, it is a fixed. Now we have to make it adaptive according to the message signal. So here we have to use one more block, that is logic for step size control, and whatever the output it is fed to the logic of for the step size control block, and then the according to that it would be adjust the step size according to the dominancy of the slope overload distortion or the granular noise, and either it would be decrease the step size by the delta or increase by the delta. Okay, so this circuitry would be consist of a summer, quantizer, delay circuit, and a logic circuit for the step size control. So here the baseband signal XNTS is given to the input of the circuit, and the feedback circuit present in the transmitter is an indicator that would be provide a time delay by the TS, and the indicator would be generate a staircase approximation of the previous sample. That is why it is mentioned as a time delay, means the previous sample. So at the summer circuit, you can see that the difference between the present sample and the staircase approximation of the previous sample is calculated, and this error signal is passed to the quantizer, and whereas the quantized value is generated EQ and TS, and then this step size control block control the step size of the next approximation based on either the quantized value is high or low, and this quantized signal would be given as the output of the adaptive delta modulation. And this is the diagram that is representing the receiver section of the adaptive delta modulation. Again, the hardware structure is same as the delta modulation receiver, only one block is added, that is a logic for the step size control here. Okay, so before this particular input message signal directly coming to this particular accumulator section, it has been be first passed through this particular section, where you can see that there is a one adder is added, and one incoming message signal is coming here, that is a binary sequence maybe, and this will be further first decoded, and that is a pulses in the terms of delta plus minus delta is there, and that would be if it is equal to the message signal, then it will directly feed to this accumulator. But if it is either lower than or greater than the actual message signal, then it would be passed through the logic for the step size control, and here the size of this particular would be adjusted according to the message sequence, and then it would be fed to the accumulator, and finally the accumulated output would be passed through the low pass filter, and it would be generate the actual recover the actual message signal. Okay, so we have to be see that the bandwidth of the low pass filter is again same as the bandwidth of the actual message signal. Okay, and this filter would be smoothen the waveform and recreate the original signal. So this is the way that actually the adaptive delta modulation works. That could be also understood with the help of this waveform, that is representing the how the step size would be adaptive to the incoming message signal. Okay, so you can see from the diagram where the slope of the message is very much steeper. At that case, your delta size of the step would be modified. Now it is not uniform, it is increased by the size. Here you can see in this particular portion, and it would be approximate near to the message signal. But this increased size would be create a problem in this end. So what happens again, it would be to tackle the granular noise, it would be decrease its step size according to the slope of the message signal. Okay, so in this way it would be adaptive in nature, and it would be remove the problem of the slope overload distortion as well as the granular noise. Okay, now this is the one of the practical solution by the use of the another system. But basic requirement, if you have to be try to avoid this condition, is that you have to be follow this equation: delta upon TS should be greater than the maximum slope of the message signal. Then and then only you can avoid the quantization error. So on the basis of this, there would be sometime asked the problem in the examination. That is the problem mentioned in this slide. Derive an expression for maximum signal to quantization noise ratio for signal sinusoidal message input signal. Waveform coding to be done by the delta modulator under no slope overload distortion condition would be achieved. So you have to be uh, considering that no slope overload condition. You have to be you have to be write the expression for the signal to noise ratio, maximum signal to noise quantization noise ratio. So this is a very important problem asked in the examination. Uh, you can start to fill up the attendance on the chat box also. It is only 2 minutes are left. Okay. So if you have to be see, uh, we would be discuss this problem on the next lecture because the time is very much less, so it is not able to cover today. So we would be discuss this on the next lecture, and then we have to start the last topic of this unit, that is line coding. Okay, till anyone has any question regarding this topic of the delta modulation or adaptive delta modulation, you can ask me. Just note it down this problem only for today. Anyone has any question, you can ask me. As per the attendance, still lots of the students has not fill up their attendance. So I will wait for the time. Anyone has any question? Okay. Okay. So thank you for attending the lecture today.